days and then go to Dover.
Me too.
Sound okay?
The Southwest, Colorado may not come to mind, but it's at the foot of the Rockies that the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series begins its stretch run in 2002. Eddie McKeon leads points, but Bernie Lamar has the momentum after 2 straight wins. They'll race veterans like M.K. Kankey and the surprising Jim Pettit. The championship chase heats up tonight as the Featherlite Southwest Series takes a spin in Colorado. Welcome to coverage of NASCAR's Featherlite Southwest Series, part of Racing Across America here on Speed. Tonight, the United Power Touchstone Energy 150. We're at Colorado National Speedway in Erie, Colorado. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin, joined tonight by Winston Cup champion crew chief Jeff Hammond. Brett McMillan will be on pit road for us. We've got a huge gathering of fans and a full field of very fast race cars. Jeff, it's good to see you again. This is quite a place, isn't it?
It really is, and if I didn't know any better, I think maybe at Charlotte or Daytona. This crowd is awesome tonight, and there's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. I know we're going to have a great race.
Certainly should. This is a very competitive racetrack. The Craftsman Truck Series of NASCAR ran regularly here for several years, and these are pretty fast little race cars, aren't they?
Yes, they really are. They're a little bit lighter than Winston Cup cars, 2,900 pounds, but still 358 cubic inches, and they're going to put on a great show.
Well, Brett McMillan has been patrolling the garage area today. He's ready to talk to the young driver who's won here the last 2 years.
There's nothing like a little confidence coming into a racetrack, and this guy should have it. The last 2 years, Augie Vidovich has been the guy that visited Victory Lane here. Can you make it 3 years in a row?
I'm sure going to try. I really think I can. I have a good car. The whole crew worked real good on it. I got a long ways to go, but I think I can do it.
Now, you got a ways to go to get to the front. How tough's that going to be?
It'll be tough. I just got to think a lot. That's the key to racing, is thinking. That's what I'm planning on doing.
All right, this was going to be a big year for this crew, but they got in a wreck in the first lap of the first race, but they seem to be bouncing back, and this could be their breakout week.
Well, we'll find out. We saw that wreck back at Phoenix. Augie Vidovich has to come from the 9th row here tonight. We'll see if he can get the job done at Colorado National Speedway. Cooling off a little bit. It's been very hot in these parts, Jeff Hammond. There's been a forest fire not too far away from here, kind of a haze in the area. Should be a challenge for these teams tonight.
It always is. Anytime that you wind up coming in and basically practicing qualifying during the day, as you can see right now, track temperature is now about 86 degrees, a little hazy, but the main thing is once it cools off, the racetrack should have a lot of grip, and these guys will be plenty fast.
Now, this is a 3/8 mile racetrack, and when you think of Colorado National, Jeff, I think of Bull Ring is about the only picture you can come up with.
You got that right. When you start thinking about a 3/8 mile racetrack, these race cars got just enough banking in the corner to allow you to really get aggressive as far as driving down in there, get a lot of grip, drive it up off the corner, and guess what? Next thing you know, you're already back around the start-finish line.
Yeah, you're turning pretty much constantly here at CNS. Another youngster's on the pole tonight. He's with Brett.
A new track record, 85.791 on the 4th pole this year. This is becoming familiar territory for you.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, Ian Joyner just gave us a great car all year long. You know, and the luck's been turning around. Hopefully we get this Diamond City Wasteland car up front and try to get another win.
Well, I say that luck's turned around. 2 straight wins coming in. What are your chances of making it 3 in a row?
Well, the car's running really good tonight, and we can keep our nose clean. We'll try to get another one, and I think our chances are looking pretty good.
Well, we will watch all these drivers. Now, Eddie McKeon is still the point leader in the Featherlite Southwest Series in car number 19. We've seen him get that one victory earlier this year, Jeff.
Yeah, he has. He's been really strong and very consistent. I think that's the main thing about Eddie McKeon right now, and that's how he's leading the point championship. He's had very consistent and a lot of top 10 finishes. And, of course, several other drivers in the field hoping to knock McKeon off the top of the charts. One driver who hopes to do really well here tonight, 3rd in points, M.K. Kankey. Now, he'll line up back behind Augie Vidovich, who we talked to earlier. He has to come from 18th spot tonight. Kankey in that 98 car. We're familiar with him in that red machine. And we will see how he does once we put this one under green in just a couple of moments. Let's take a look. 3 races to go in 2002 for the Featherlite Southwest Series. Here's how the points chase looks. Kankey, Lamar, and McKeon just 101 points apart. Telling you right now, that's a very tight point race right there. And still don't count out the 5th place guy as far as Todd Souza is concerned because, hey, anything can happen. Sure can. Now, Jeff mentioned earlier the huge crowd we have on hand here tonight at Colorado National Speedway. More than 14,000 people have somehow managed to wedge themselves in around this 3/8 mile racetrack. They've had to send people home. Folks tried to get in. They couldn't make it. It was incredible. I know up here in the booth looking back toward Denver, the long line of traffic, it was just incredible. It's a great crowd here. Well, the call comes down to fire up the motors. We're getting set to roll away here. 26 drivers have high hopes tonight. 150 laps around this 3/8 mile racetrack. Bernie Lamar in the Tri-C 33 car
will have the pole when we put this one under green in just a couple of moments. Drivers will race for nearly $60,000 here tonight. Jeff, this is a sprint race on bias ply tires. If you're crew chiefing for one of these guys, what are you telling them?
Well, you got to take care of it because you got to keep track position all night long. Have a little bit for there at the end. The main thing is keep the fenders on it.
That is always the challenge. Now, these cars, of course, very strong race cars, as Jeff mentioned, 2,900 pounds, so fragile they're not, but still, you've got to take care of the equipment on a place like this, don't you?
You really do, because if you can't keep the wheels and tires on the racetrack like you need to, next thing you know, the handling's going to go away, and it won't make any difference where you start, because you're not going to finish.
When we come back at Colorado National Speedway, we'll check the starting lineup and be ready to go green for 150 laps of action. We'll be back.
Number 34, we'll be starting in the 7th position tonight. We have a streak. We finished in the top 10 for the last 9 years, so look for us to be at the front.
Starting beside McCowan is Jerry Robinson, a former Winston Cup mechanic. Mike Ledbetter will be coming off in the 9th position, and starting beside Mike, Danny Burson.
I am Danny Burson, driver of the number 56 late model, in need of a sponsor. This is my best qualifying effort, and I'm starting 10th.
Taking a look at the 6th row, Steve Boletto starts the 30 car inside. On the outside, Mike Gallegos in the 06 machine. The 7th row lines up this way. David Gilliland in car number 11. That's a Chevrolet. J.R. Patton in the 97 starts 14th. They're going 15th tonight.
Hi, my name is Frank Moronsky Jr. I drive the number 7 stock building supply Monte Carlo. Starting 15th tonight. I'm from Quartz Hill, California, and I've been running the Southwest Series since about 1995.
Starting 16th, rookie sensation Brandon Witt, having a great year. The next row, former two-time winner here, Augie Vidovich. Beside him, M.K. Kanky, who happened to be 3rd in the points right now. The next row, 10, Richard Burton. Outside of him, and Todd Souza, who's 5th in points. Joe Harold starting in the 11th row alongside of Jason Benzler.
I'm Bob Lyon, driver of the Northridge Equipment Rental Chevrolet, starting 23rd on tonight's grid. We have the most starts in the Featherlite Southwest Series history with 4 main event wins.
And there's Lyon in the 44 car, lining up alongside at 24th spot, Scott Busby's Chevrolet. Busby drives the 73 car. And the final row tonight, Remax Series invader Brian Hoppy and Mike Snow and Brett McMillan in the stands.
Guys, you know, they say races are won and lost in the pits, but tonight it would only be lost in the pit. You see, they're beyond the backstretch, so I'm going to spend the evening here on the backstretch stands, talking to some of the crew members, and if a driver comes back to see me, it's not going to be good news. So from a driver's standpoint, they're hoping I have a real slow night. You guys got any nachos or anything here? Plenty of water. We could use the water.
I figured he'd be in good position close to the hot dog stand back there.
Well, I don't think Brett likes hot dogs.
Doesn't look like
it. I thought he was a hot dog sometimes.
We have an onboard view for you tonight. Brandon Witt, who is the Rookie of the Year points leader, the 28 car, the Moen Fawcett Simpson Race Products Chevrolet. He starts in 16th spot. Bernie Lamar in the 33 leads him to green, and we're underway at Colorado National Speedway.
And he got a whale of a start right there and got himself a good hole shot. Leads him down to turn 1 and back down the back straightaway. And guess what? Rick, they're just about ready to complete lap 1 already.
Already. A little action further back as Travis Clark moves into 2nd spot in the 79. Everybody on the gas. You got to look at Eddie McKeon, the series point leader in the 19 car. He's trying to move up from 6th. He's up to 5th already.
Well, I think right now what everybody's trying to do is get that track position, because they realize once everybody gets strung out and they come up on lap traffic eventually, it's going to be very difficult to make those moves if you haven't already got the passes made.
Bernie Lamar is your leader. Lots of action side by side, deeper in the field. Travis Clark, who started alongside Lamar, led this race for nearly 100 laps a year ago before Augie Vidovich got by him and went on to victory. Clark trying to come back and score the win here tonight. Driver on the move, Jerry Robertson in the 75. That's the all-white car. Meantime, here is Clark to the inside. He's got a little run on him down the backstretch.
He's got position on him right now, but it looks like that outside line's got a little bit of bite. And watching Jerry Robertson, he's been making it work so far. But Bernie Lamar's been able to hold off.
Chris Mueller in the 95. That's the yellow and green race car. He is sitting 3rd right now, very much in the mix. Lamar continues to lead. And again, here comes Travis Clark bidding for the top.
Back there further in the field, I can saw Rick, these guys are still side by side back there for 4th and 5th and 6th. So, I mean, this is a great little race we got going on here.
I can remember talking to guys in the truck series years ago, and we'll talk about that in a moment as we watch the 28 car Brandon Witt on the inside. He's trying to move up, Rookie of the Year contender. Let's climb on board, get a sense of just how much this track really, how short it really is and how much of a circle it is around it.
Going in the back straight right there. Hard on the gas right there. Rolls off of it. Starts to pick the throttle up in the middle of the corner. Drives it back up off toward the flag stand. Wide open once again. It's just a continuous, in and out of the gas, on the brake. You got to be real smooth and not spin the back tires. You notice one thing. Have you ever heard any tires spin? A lot of times when guys are getting back in the throttle too aggressive, you'll hear the engine kind of rev up a little bit, and that's not a good sound.
Taking a look at Eddie McKeon, that's kind of the aqua colored, the green 19 car there. He is the series points leader. 3 races to go, 2 remain after tonight's show here at Colorado National. So McKeon hoping for a good finish to try to take another step toward a championship in the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series. The 95 car of Mueller sitting third behind Clark. The leader is Bernie Lamar. And I was going to refer back, Jeff, to, I remember talking to Ron Hornaday when he raced trucks here several times. He said, man, you're turning the wheel all the time. It's just a circle around here for all intents and purposes.
Oh, we got somebody already off the racetrack, the 56 car.
And Danny Burson, we talked to him early in the Great Western Electric car. He goes down through the infield, back up on the racetrack, so we'll stay green. Watch that battle for second and third. Clark trying to hold off Mueller there in the 95. Jerry Robertson sticking the nose with the 75 car right in there as well.
Yeah, Robertson was really working good on the top side. Now he's got to the bottom, and he's really starting to move. Seems like his car's working good top or bottom. That could be bad news for the Vernon Lamar and the rest of those guys up in the front.
Jim Pettit in the 03 getting very much in the chase as well. Top 5 are bunched very tightly.
You made mention a minute ago about what Ron Hornaday thought about this racetrack. After watching these guys race a little bit, watching them practice, I liken this place to kind of like going to a fair. And I think a lot of the folks at home have ever seen a roundup.
Yeah.
It's like riding a roundup for 150 laps here, around and around and around. So, it just doesn't ever stop. High-speed merry-go-round.
There you go, and you get a sense of just how nobody really is even straight on the straightaway. You just kind of bend the car out to the wall and back into the corner. Oh, trouble. The 79 goes around. That's Travis Clark.
Car around also.
McCowan loops it as well. Both drop to the inside of the apron. Nobody touches anybody.
No caution flag.
Nope.
You believe that?
We will remain under green, but McCowan in the 34 and Clark, who's running second, their chances take a big hit here. Here comes Robertson now in that white 75, going for second spot.
Now, it's one thing you can say is good about a short track like this. No inside walls, no obstructions down there. So if you do get a little bit out of shape and spin it to the inside, hey, just gather it back up, catch another gear, and come on.
Jim Pettit in the 03 going for the lead on the high side of Bernie Lamar down in the corner, and he's got him. And here comes Robertson. So give Jim Pettit the top spot as we work out of the first 10 laps and heading toward lap 20. Pettit with 4 consecutive top 10s in the Featherlite Southwest Series. Let's take another look at that contact, the 2 cars that spun. Here they are out of 4.
Oh, right there. Looked like, Mueller got into the back of him right there. It looked like he just didn't quite pick the throttle up. Same thing happened with McCowan. Somebody got in the back of him, and around he went.
Yeah, that was the 52, I believe, of Scott Schmidt, the Wright Group Chevrolet that made the initial contact. Here's another look from Brandon Witt's onboard camera. See that contact between the white car, McCowan's 34. Both those cars spun down to the infield, didn't touch a thing.
Yeah, they really did. And Brandon Witt did a great job. He didn't panic in that situation and spin out or cause any other kind of problems. Good job of driving.
Not quite to the 20-lap mark tonight at Colorado National Speedway. Jim Pettit is your leader, 150 tonight. The NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series, part of Racing Across America. Jim Pettit and Jerry Robertson are racing across this tarmac, and there goes Scott Schmidt in the 52. After that damage, he started third tonight. Got into the back end of Doug McCowan's machine, helped McCowan spin a few moments ago, and he has headed toward the paddock area. As we take a look at your top 5 at the 20-lap mark, Mike Ledbetter runs 6th ahead of David Gilliland, who we've seen win earlier this year. Eddie McKeon now working on Bernie Lamar for position down into the corner.
Things are starting to tighten up, and going back to Schmidt, I dare say he probably got that car a little overheated. Probably knocked the radiator out of it, had to take it behind the wall to effect repairs.
This battle is for third spot. McKeon in the 19. He has really started to move up. Started 6th. Passing here, not an easy thing to do, Jeff Hammond.
No, but at the same time, I think you're seeing a lot of these guys have got a lot of experience, realizing this is a fairly long race. You can't overwork your tires too soon. Be patient, make your passes when it counts, and you'll be around at the end.
Still battling for third. Those 3 cars got a glimpse there a moment ago of the 11 of David Gilliland, the Centrifugal Technology Chevrolet. Contact coming off the corner here. Lamar and the 95 car, Chris Mueller get together. We do have our first caution of the night, so the pole sitter, he backpedaled quickly, wasn't able to hang on to the lead very long, and now he looks like he's knocked that car off center in a big way.
Oh, it really has. Either he's got something messed up. It looked like maybe a tie rod is bent or broken, and he's having a hard time steering that car.
He will stop the car down on the apron as we get the caution waving over this field of NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series stars. So Jim Pettit will bring the field down to a slower pace. The safety car will come out, and we'll find out what happened here to Bernie Lamar's machine. We've got another couple of looks at it. The 95 of Chris Mueller, who started fourth, the Tri-County Parts Monte Carlo. There was a pretty good contact between those two. And there you see the tire donut on the side of the Tri-City 33.
Yeah, they had some pretty heavy contact. Notice them when they came off that corner right there. He was really into that left front corner hard.
And Mueller runs in the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series presented by Dodge that is the regular fare here at Colorado National Speedway. So he certainly knows his way around this 3/8 mile racetrack. You see the 98 car moving into position. MK Kankey starting to move up from deep in the field. He started back in 18th, and he is already inside the top 10. Let's take another look at it here. The contact off of turn 4.
Yeah, you can see right there, it looks like Lamar got loose, and you know, Mueller had no place to go and just hit him right there in the left front and probably did some damage to it. And on board right here, we can see from Brandon Witt what he saw.
A lot of smoke. Didn't look like it was extremely heavy contact, but it was enough to cause serious problems for Lamar's race car. I don't think Mueller had anything he could do at all.
No, he really didn't. He just was trying to avoid the situation altogether, and he just couldn't quite get under it.
And Bernie Lamar getting some help from a four-wheeler to get pushed off the racetrack.
That's a unique little wrecker, I'd say. I hadn't seen one of those in a while.
That's a four-wheeler, of course, pushing the 33, and you can hear that car making an awful lot of noise. Now, Jeff, when a car's crabbing like that, you said it might be a broken tie rod. I was thinking maybe a truck arm broken in the back of that car. What do you think?
It could be, but these cars here a lot of times have 3 links, so you know, some form of truck arm or track bar adjuster could have been broken.
So the crews go to work in the garage area. This work being done on the 52 of Scott Schmidt. We'll see if he can return in a moment. Welcome back to Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series. And this is a huge event up in Erie, Colorado National Speedway. Believe it or not, just like at a Winston Cup race, some hospitality for the corporate sponsors. And you're inside the tent of Hall Kenyon. They backed Jim Pettit's 03 car. Had a lot of guests, and a lot of them are here tonight to watch the Touchstone Energy United Power 150. And their driver certainly doing a great job. Jim Pettit out in front at the moment. Let's get an update on Bernie Lamar's situation. Here's Brett.
Well, you can see Bernie Lamar's crew working diligently on the car. What they know so far, rear trailing arm has broken. They're trying to get it fixed to get him back out in the race. Not only was there our pole sitter tonight, but he also came into tonight's race second in points.
Well, that's a huge problem for Lamar then in the championship chase.
You know, this might have been the reason why that car got so loose in the middle corner. That could have broken, got him loose, and that's when they got in each other.
So Bernie Lamar's crew thrashing away, trying to get him back on the racetrack. Jim Pettit will be the restart leader. We talked with him earlier about what it's like to run here at Colorado.
Well, this is an awesome facility, though. The people and the fans that come out to this place, they are just fanatic here, you know, on how they just love the Southwest Series. And the drivers, all of us that run the series, I mean, it's so competitive, it's not even funny. If you blink, you know, you can go from being in the top 3 to saying, wow, what do you mean we got to run a last chance race? Because this series is tough.
So the drivers know there's a lot at stake when they come here to Colorado National Speedway. Pettit's done a great job so far. Jeff Hammond started 5th tonight. He's made his way to the lead. Guy who started on the pole doesn't look as though he'll be back anytime soon.
No, he's going to be in there for quite an extensive repair, and who knows if it takes very long. This little race track, race may be over with.
Could happen that way, certainly, and they know that they're up against the clock. We'll grab a quick timeout before we come back for the restart at Colorado National. Set for a restart at Colorado National, the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series tonight. Coming up on the last couple of races of their 2002 season and a very tight points chase, as we showed you a few moments ago. A lot of drivers with a lot at stake here tonight. Jim Pettit, though, in the catbird seat, Jeff Hammond, as we get set to go.
Yes, right now he's up there. He's heading his pack, getting ready to restart. We've got a green flag right here. He gets a good restart. Robertson's driving these tracks.
Coming up on lap number 30, 120 to go. Pettit is your restart leader. Robertson goes in second spot. The 19 car of Eddie McKeon is third. And then the 11 machine of David Gilliland. Now, we watched him win earlier this year. Gilliland up to 4th. Here comes Robertson, putting plenty of pressure on Pettit.
Yes, he is. And, you know, going back to Gilliland, I believe we were together up at Irwindale whenever he won early this year and put on a great run up there.
That was his best run of his career, and he's got another good race going there tonight. Here comes Robertson, the 40-year-old veteran, to the inside for the lead.
Not bad for a former mechanic, looks like right now.
Kind of a page out of your old buddy Kirk Shelmerdine's book here.
Yes, it is, and he's doing a really good job keeping the car right on the bottom. Trying to be smooth, realizing we still got a long ways to go.
Battle meantime for 7th spot down into the quarter, and that's Frank Moransky Jr. in the 7 car. The 06 local runner Mike Gallegos, and then the 95 driver involved in that skirmish a little while ago, Chris Mueller. He's come back up through the field. Brandon Witt with our onboard view in the 28. He's right in front of that battle. So he's up in 5th right now. He's got a good night going as well.
He's had a really strong year so far and really impressed a lot of people. And Frank Moransky Jr., he's been around a long time. He knows how to race this racetrack.
6 top 10s so far in the season. Moransky with a very good year going 7th in points. Just 188 out of the lead, so he's certainly got championship hopes with 3 races to go. Meantime, Jerry Robertson for the lead against Pettit in the 03. Through the corner, Robertson able to go low, but he can't get the job done.
He's got to be careful here because it's real easy when you get back to the gas to slide out and hit that guy on the outside lane. Just be nice and smooth, plenty of time.
And he is able to close the deal. So Jerry Robertson gets the lead going down into 1. Eddie McKean, meantime, takes advantage and closes in from 3rd spot. So all 3. Oh, we've got another spin up in turn 2. This is the 06 of Gallegos. He has gone around that battle for 7th. Raging on, and Gallegos got a little over enthusiastic there. The Steve's Transmissions car. No caution, though. Jerry Robertson in the 75 opening up the lead. I guess he was being held up a little bit, Jeff, by that battle.
I would say he probably wasn't, and those 3 guys were really putting on a pretty fierce race back there, and they probably got a little too aggressive.
So Robertson by about 8 car lengths. Here's another look at how Gallegos went around. Had a little help there, didn't he? Mueller involved in this one, too.
Mueller must be figuring that if I can't race my way up there, I'll beat my way up there.
Brian Hoppy was very much in the mix there, just avoided that in the Gildan 51. Mueller in the 95 able to continue. Now he's got damage from a couple of shunts on the front end of that race car.
Well, I was going to comment earlier that one thing about a 3/8 mile racetrack, you can take the front fenders off these race cars. You just keep the wheels tracking true. Aerodynamics don't have anything to do around here.
Mueller facing a challenge. Hoppy in the 51 up from the back of the pack. Remember, he started back in the 25th spot. He's a very strong runner on the NASCAR REMAX Challenge Series in the Midwest, and the cars are basically the same. And Hoppy seems to really like it here at Colorado National.
Well, he must, because he had to do it the hard way. He had to get through a transfer race.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's kind of unique about this series right here. If you don't qualify or you don't have a provisional starting, you do have an opportunity to qualify through a transfer race.
Big car count, 26 starting, and then there were several more cars out of that last chance event that Jeff mentioned that went home disappointed here this weekend. So that shows you what kind of support there is, not just from the fans. Remember, a full house of more than 14,000 fans here tonight. But, of course, the teams certainly support the Featherlite Southwest Series as well. Take a look at your field summary. 40 laps go on the scoreboard. Robertson leads Pettit. Moransky now 6th ahead of Ledbetter. Mueller is 8th, Hoppy, and then Steve Boletto. And here's Hoppy now working on Mueller for that position.
He really wants that position. Hoppy's car is really working well. He's getting in the corner really good and making strong runs up off the corner. So he will not be denied, I can promise you that. Back up front, Jerry Robertson continues to lead.
Robertson in that 75 car has turned in a great run. Started 8th. He grabbed the lead before 50 laps go on the board at Colorado National. We'll be back. Southwest Series riding with Brandon Witt, who's turned in a good run tonight in his 28 car. He's up in 5th position. Meantime, this is the battle for 7th. Mike Ledbetter in the 61 has that spot. Mueller in the 95 back there in 8th, but watch Brian Hoppy on the inside. He gets by Mueller. From the back of the field, that black and red 51 car. Here he goes for 7th on the bottom, Jeff.
He's really doing a great job right there. And if you notice right there, the 95 car, Mueller, it's sparking from that fender, but it doesn't really hurt the car here. The main thing is keep the wheels tracking straight. You're going to beat on somebody. Don't knock the wheels out of the line.
Hoppy's able to get by Ledbetter by half a car length. Ledbetter comes back at him on the high side. No contact between the two, just some good driving. Mueller in the 95 goes to the inside of Ledbetter as well.
Hoppy finally gets a hole shot and gets by Ledbetter. But hey, one thing I noticed about this little racetrack, it does have it has 2 definite grooves here. You can get your car working. You can make it go top or bottom.
What we see at the top of the broadcast, I think only 6 or 8 degrees of banking in the corners. I'm surprised that the groove is as wide.
I think that right there has a lot to do with the type of tire they're running, and these particular race cars really adapt well to this type of racetrack.
Very smooth surface here. Your leader is Jerry Robertson in the 75. He is a regular here. Beck races out of Erie, Colorado, and he has got the lead. Meantime, trouble for the 6 car. Slowing at the bottom of the racetrack, Todd Souza's Central Coast Cabinets Ford. Rookie of the Year in the Featherlite Southwest Series 2 years ago. Didn't sound like Souza's motor was running as he came by and dropped down to the inside.
No, and it's not going to be good. He was 5th in points coming in here, and that's really going to hurt him. If Caution is out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We see a yellow flag waving from the starter's stand, so Robertson will slow the field down. 50 laps go on the board, and it's our second yellow flag of the night. Trying to get an indication of what the caution was for here. Might have been for a spin by Souza. Souza can't get that car refired. We showed him stopped a moment ago to the inside. Looks like he did turn that car around.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get out of the racetrack and just didn't have enough momentum to get back out of harm's way. And wisely, NASCAR says, hey, let's just stop everything, get him out of the way, and we'll go back racing.
And there's the track safety crew on hand again on that four-wheeler. Remember, they pushed Bernie Lamar's car off the racetrack with that thing a little while ago. And you see it looks like a little pool of fluid there under the 6 car.
That's not usually a good sign.
Generally means you've got severe problems. He will get a push. The four-wheeler back into action here at Colorado National. They'll push Souza up the racetrack and out through the gate. Got another look at it, I believe. We can show you what happened to the 6. Todd Souza started in 20th, and here he is down into the corner. Little contact. Yeah. Scott Busby in that 73 getting into him there.
Yeah, but it almost made me look when I saw that little bit of fire fly to that car, made me think maybe the engine let go, and he was trying to gather it up, and the rest of them kind of got into him because he was trying to get out of harm's way, but the engine had already expired.
So the field remains under caution. Jerry Robertson, the restart leader. Full house of fans tonight here at Colorado National Speedway. Jim Pettit, Eddie McKeon, David Gilliland, and Brandon Witt. The rest of the top 5 will be back. The Colorado National Speedway here on Speed Channel. I'm Rick Benjamin. Jeff Hammond is alongside. Brett McMillan covering the action in the pits for us here tonight as normal. And we are under caution.
Wait a minute. Wait. In the pits?
Well, he was back there once.
Okay.
He's also been hanging out with the crowd here tonight, which, as we've said, is huge. 14,000 folks here to enjoy NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series action, and they've got their money's worth, I think, in the first 50 laps here tonight.
Yes, they have. We've had some great racing and a little bit of excitement along the way. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, now check this out, Jeff Hammond. Is this anything you'd like to give a shot to here? You've done a little driving in your day.
Hey, it's racing, isn't it?
This is the train race here at Colorado National. 14 three-car trains, and they're using the figure-8 course here.
All I want to know is where's the whistle? That's all I want to know. Where's the whistle? I want to blow the whistle.
I don't think I'd want to be the guy in the middle car.
Whoa!
Oh, boy. Now, the way this works, the front car has the motor and the steering. The back car has steering and brakes. And the middle car is just kind of along for the ride.
Hey, Rick, no offense, but I don't think I want to ride with you. Is that okay?
I thought I'd drive and you could be in the car in the back.
I want to spot. That's what I want. I want to be the spotter. We'll let Brett do the other deal.
All right. And as you can tell, there is nothing like a caution or a red flag in this.
Oh, me. Run what you brung, as they said.
I think so. Figure-8 racing is tough enough, but a three-car train figure-8 race?
Hey, did you see the guy on the flag stand in the middle of that deal, way up high?
That's where you need to be. Where you need to be. Not being on the racetrack, that'd be only for the faint of heart.
Ooh.
Eddie McKeon in the 19 car leading the points coming in here tonight with just 3 races to go in the 2002 season. McKeon told us that he wants to run in the top 3 here to protect the point lead, and he also told us how important it is to set these cars up properly to run at high altitude.
We do a little bit of carburetor work for the high altitude. We really look forward to coming to Colorado. We have a little more horsepower than most of the guys, and high altitude really helps us, and so we look forward to it.
Physically, is that something you worry about at all with the thin air?
No, not really. Got an air conditioner in the car. We're in good shape after the race.
An air conditioner in the car.
Yeah, you've got to have an air conditioner. These race cars are extremely hot. Think about it like that. But what he was talking about as far as the air and the carburetor is very, very critical to these engines. But I think these mechanics know what they're doing as we go back to green here on lap 56.
Very thin air, of course. We're very close to the mile-high city of Denver, and that's a whole different kettle of fish for someone taking care of one of these motors. Back underway, Robertson in the 75 is your leader. Jim Pettit, the second, runs in second spot. McKeon, who we just heard from, is third in the 19. David Gilliland very much in the mix as well as we chase toward halfway here tonight. Now, we're not expecting any pit stops for fuel or tires.
No. This is a very short race as far as that's concerned. And these guys, once again, you've got to take care of your tires. Track positions are critical. As we see right now, Steve Belletto going behind the wall.
Belletto in the 30 car, tough break for him as he heads behind the wall. That probably means the end of his night. That's once you go out here and head to pit road, you're pretty much done. As Brett told us earlier, trying to repair the car and come back pretty much will kill your chances in a 150-lap race on a 3/8 mile track. Brandon Witt in 5th, really turning in a good ride tonight. This rookie contender's done a great job, I think.
Again, from the in-car camera, you can hear how smooth he is as he rolls off the gas, lets the car roll into the corner, picks the throttle back up, no tire spin. He's really doing a great job.
Taking a look at Brian Hoppy in this 51. We talked about how he had come from the back row to get into that battle for 7th, and he has gotten to 7th. He's caught Frank Moronsky in the 7 car, who runs in 6th. So Hoppy has made quick progress through the field. Now it becomes a little tougher, I think, when you get to that top 5, top 6 cars.
Yeah, it really does. But if you look at that race car, Hoppy's done a great job because, hey, he hadn't got a scratch or a donut one on it. So his car must really be working well.
Mueller, Ledbetter, and M.K. Kankey rounding out the top 10 behind the 51. There's the 95 of Mueller. Now, M.K. Kankey very much in the chase for the point championship. Just 101 back of the leader. Kankey in the 98 started deep in the field in 18th, but he hasn't been able to get on track tonight. He's come to 10th, and that's all. We've still got a long way to go, though. About a little less than 100 laps left.
Yeah, it's still real early to call who's going to be the best of the best because a lot of times guys have a tendency to overuse their equipment, wear those tires out.
Oh, contact. The 7 car goes around after a hit from Brian Hoppy. So Frank Moronsky Jr., who was running 6, takes a shot on the back end, spins that Monte Carlo down into the infield, the stock building supply car. He'll come back on the racetrack again, no caution.
No caution, and that's, again, no guardrails down the inside. The guy does get spinning out like he just did. No damage, catch another gear, get back in the race.
And we'll see where Moronsky comes back onto the racetrack. He did not lose a lap, but he certainly lost a lot of track position. Jim Pettit the second in the 03, runs in second behind your leader, the 75 of Jerry Robertson out of Erie. That's where we are here in Erie, Colorado, up north of Denver. Robertson nice and smooth all by himself, about 10 car lengths in the lead. Working toward halfway at Colorado National. We'll be right back. NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series. And Jerry Robertson waxing everybody here in the 75 car, the Coldwell Banker Chevrolet. I don't know, though, Jeff Hammond, when he drops that car into the corner, I'm seeing some smoke and some sparks and so forth. What do you think?
Well, I think right there it's just the car itself starting to work a little bit more aggressively as the night goes on. Nothing really to worry about. And, hey, I'm pretty impressed with this mechanic turned driver.
He's doing a great job. Now for 9th spot, here comes M.K. Kankey working on Ledbetter in the 61. Talked before about Kankey. He's really had a lot to overcome. He was off to a great start a year ago. Got hurt at, what, Sears Point, I guess it was?
He really did in a Southwest Tour event out there. And was having a phenomenal year until that injury, and he's really struggled.
Come back nicely here. He's had some good runs this season. Very solidly up in the points chase. 3rd, 101 out of the lead. Tonight he hasn't been that strong yet, but what would you say now if you were telling these guys on the radio what to be watching for as we get close to halfway? When do you want to see them start to pick it up and show what they've got?
I'd say right about the halfway point. You can't allow the leader to come around and gain too much more ground on you. If you're back here in the back like Kankey is right now, he needs to start making a move toward the front, instead of sitting back here having to race that hard and not go anywhere.
That's the Community Recycling Mechanics Wear Chevrolet, M.K. Kankey, and red number 98. A little further back, the 36 and the 39 fighting for position. That's Richard Burton in the 36. Got to look at him earlier. Mike Snow, who started scratch in the Bradley Motorsports 39. A couple of local drivers here. The 39 backed by Buzz Calkins Group out of Denver, famous for being the first champions in the Indy Racing League back in 1996. And here's Robertson lapping by the 6 car of Todd Souza. Now, evidently, whatever we saw leaked out of that car, Jeff didn't take him out for the night.
No, but you notice right now they got the hood off that car, so maybe they had like an overheating problem or something else may have broken on the engine, but they at least effective repairs, which will at least give an opportunity to score some points.
And the 7 there, Frank Moronsky Jr. Now, he spun after some contact from Brian Hoppy. He's just gone a lap down. So Moronsky's bid tonight, he's got a long uphill climb ahead if he's going to have a good finish here. There's Brandon Witt in the 28. He loses a spot. Hoppy gets by him. That should be for 5th.
It looked to me like Chris Mueller's trying to come with him, and he does. He clears him.
So Brian Hoppy gets to the top 5. Mueller in that Cat Parts machine, the 95 with the nose damage after a couple of hits. He's up into 6th now, and that slides the 28 back to 7th spot. So Brandon Witt, who had a very good early run here tonight, he seems to be backpedaling. Robertson, meantime, no one able to touch the 75 car. Oh, in trouble.
Man, oh, trouble, man.
Mike Snow goes around in the Bradley Motorsports 39. We were talking about him just a moment ago. That's a good spin to the infield. What, no caution again?
But no caution and no damage.
Snow tries to get the car refired, and he does, and he'll try to rejoin the field after another big loss of track position there.
I wonder if they get mad at you if you kind of cut across the infield to kind of get back where you gave up, if that get anybody's attention.
Well, from that train race, it looks like it's open back through there in the X, so you might want to take advantage of that. Here comes Snow back up onto the racetrack. And we have just taken the cross flags. We show you the full field summary as we are halfway tonight in the United Power Touchstone Energy 150. Here's another look at what happened to Snow. Looked like he was all alone out of 4.
Like it just got a little bit high and got a little bit loose, and I'm sure we've run far enough now, we've probably got those marbles up on that top side of that groove. So you get very high, around she's going to come.
Watching Jerry Robertson continuing to work on the lead. Down into the corner.
Rick, this is something right here that may get Robertson in trouble right here. I don't know how much experience he's got as far as working through traffic, but now he's having to work through lap traffic.
Jerry picking them off one by one. One of a big contingent of Colorado-based drivers here, right, Brett?
Rick, what we're seeing so far tonight is the Colorado connection. There are 7 drivers in tonight's field who are locals who run at this track regularly.
I think local knowledge would be a big thing in a place like this, don't you, Jeff?
Absolutely. Anytime you know what the racetrack's going to do, that gives you an advantage over the guys who don't. And I think that's one of the best things about running local.
Pretty high track temperature when we started, 90-plus degrees tonight, and, of course, the thin air of Colorado. Jerry Robertson is the leader. We'll be back.
Got the afternoon? Great. Got the whole weekend? Even better. Get Track Pass and get it all. To get yours, just log on to America Online. Keyword NASCAR.
Hey, are you ever going to mow the lawn?
Where does the weekend go? NASCAR.com. Always on. America Online. Keyword NASCAR.
Are you paying too much?
Speed Channel, the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series. With Jeff Hammond, I'm Rick Benjamin, Brett McMillan covering the activities off the racetrack tonight. I guess we can't say he's on pit road, can we?
Oh, you can't say that right there. He's on, what would you say it? A stand assignment today?
That's it. He was in the backstretch spotter stand the first time we checked in with him, and he's made it to the garage area here at CNS a couple of times. There's Jim Pettit in the 03 car, second-generation driver, started 5th tonight. He's run in the lead, now sits in 2nd spot, working his way through traffic. Moronsky there in the 7, with Pettit coming up on his back deck lid. Pettit's the guy who's really got to be careful, I think, in this lap traffic, Jeff, to not let Robertson get any further ahead.
Yeah, he really can't stand that right there. What would really be good for Pettit if he could get back to Robertson and let him kind of like open the doors and let him follow him on through, but he's lost way too much ground already and looks like he's losing more.
Moving by Bob Lyon there in the orange 44. We talked to him at the top of the broadcast. Of all the guys in the field, Lyon may have the most experience of anyone in the series and here at Colorado National Speedway, but he's been off the pace tonight. 85 laps go on the board. Robertson, Pettit, and McKean remain the top 3. 4th belongs to Gilliland. Mueller up into 6th position as we watch David Gilliland in that 11th car. And Jeff Hammond, he's trying to work his way to the front. That's a new race team since we saw him win at Irwindale.
Yes, it is, Rick. As a matter of fact, right after he won at Irwindale, they came over and asked him to come drive the 11 car, and he's done a great job for these guys since he's come on board.
David Gilliland certainly a contender for Rookie of the Year honors, although he trails Brandon Witt, who leads the standings by a good bit because Gilliland missed some races earlier in the year. Here's Kanke now in the 98, running in 9th spot. Augie Vidovich right behind him in the 59. Doug McCowan is there in the 34. Now remember, McCowan spun earlier. Don't believe he's still on the same lap as these drivers, but he's trying to work his way up through the field. McCowan and then the 79 right behind him. And the 79 car, the car being driven tonight by Travis Clark. Back on the racetrack, started on the outside pole, had that contact earlier and spun off the course. Down into the corner, there is Clark.
And a lot of these guys are still having to contend with lap traffic.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of it. Everybody's doing a really good job, but still, it makes it real difficult to make a clean move or set a guy up when you keep getting in this lap traffic, and it messes up your rhythm.
Vidovich trying to work his way by Mike Ledbetter. No, a spin. One car goes around. Looks like the 70 of Jason Fensler has looped that car, the Star Nursery machine. He gets it refired, and again, no caution. We will stay green.
Well, there was no need for one.
No, I guess not. A little dust cloud, and that's about all. So things settle back down. Jerry Robertson remains the leader here in the white 75 car. Robertson from 8th starting spot, the Coldwell Banker Lucas Oil Chevrolet. Moving by the lap number 5 there. It's the car of Joe Harold, the Quality Chevrolet.
And there's one thing I'm sure of right now. Pettit is looking for a caution flag. He'd love to get back up on Robertson's back bumper. And I'm beginning to notice right there either a little dust up off of the racetrack, making it look like Robertson's car is almost smoking a little bit.
Did look like a little smoke coming out of the right rear there. He hasn't really, we haven't seen him make contact with it. I think you might think a cut tire would be the cause of that, but he doesn't have any reason to have a sheet metal rub.
He's got a little bit, the 39 car, Mike Snow around again.
That's the second trip to the infield tonight for Snow in the Bradley Motorsports, the Sable-Matte Chevrolet. Snow gets it back in gear and comes bouncing up onto the racetrack for his second trip of the night. He's a local runner, drives here at Colorado National in the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series, taking a shot at the big boys, the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series touring stars. Here's another look at what happened to Snow.
Makes you wonder right here, like maybe he's kind of pinched it down up off the corner and around the car went.
Got a look from Brandon Witt's onboard camera as well.
No,
Yeah, a little contact. Yep. Looked like he had it gathered up at first, and then it just got away from him. So Mike Snow to the infield, but no caution. He just loses again a lot of track position. Jerry Robertson continues to lead, and I'm starting to think that there's something wrong there on the right side of that car, Jeff Hammond. We will find out when we come back. Down into the corner, Brandon Witt in the 28 car. Here's Doug McCown. Oh, in trouble. Car goes around. It's Mike Ledbetter in the 61. Little contact. Oh, he just slips down the racetrack in front of the oncoming traffic.
That was close right there.
Yes, it was. And no caution. The yellow does not wave.
I think that one almost deserved one.
Yeah, that was very close. And Ledbetter, when he got the car refired, he was half on the racetrack when he was stalled out there before he got it back in gear.
I'm telling you, I was there. That was very, very close right there. That's the closest one there. And the car's still a little bit wiggling around here. Probably got a lot of debris on his tires. He's got to get them cleaned off so he can get back up to speed.
100 laps on the board. Show you the top 10. MK Kankey sits ninth behind Witt. Doug McCowan has gotten back up to 10th after the early spin. McCowan part of a two-car twirl in the first 20 laps tonight. Now here's another look at Ledbetter going down into the corner.
Just a little helping hand there.
I think Augie Vinovich got into him just a little and just turned him. I don't know that that was a purposeful punt, though, would you say?
No, I don't think so either. It looked like it was just kind of like accidental. Very accidental.
Incidental contact, as they would say in the NFL. Here's your leader, Robertson, in the 75. As he goes into the corner, you're seeing even more smoke, and then when he lays back on the gas, it seems to get worse yet.
That right there is kind of puzzling me right there, but again, it doesn't look like he's put anything down on the racetrack, so NASCAR is going to be able to live with it, and it definitely hasn't slowed him down any.
Got to look briefly at the 51 of Brian Hoppy, a regular in the NASCAR REMAX Challenge Series in the Midwest. Brian Hoppy has come from the final row. He started 25th here tonight. He is up to 5th spot. Less than 50 laps remaining at Colorado National. Everyone's still trying to solve the puzzle of Jerry Robertson, who's led much of the race tonight. He started throwing smoke out of the 75 car about 25 or 30 laps ago. No black flag, no caution flag. He seems to be up to speed. I don't know, Jeff Hammond, if you're Jim Pettit back there in second spot, what do you do? Is your spotter maybe talking to NASCAR and saying, hey, we're seeing some oil on our windshield, anything like that?
If my crew chief wasn't talking to NASCAR, I'd be talking to him after the race. This cat's putting down a smoke screen. Can you not see? He's putting oil on the racetrack. Go to caution, black flagging. I'd be doing all I could to get that guy slowed down.
And you'd be doing it because if you're Pettit running second, you aren't even in the same zip code as this guy at the moment.
Exactly right. You know he's up there because you can see the smoke, so that's the only way you know where he is.
Doug McCowan in the 34 has very patiently worked his way back into the top 10 now. Remember we said McCown was a part of the first spin of the night. Three wide in turn two, yes. Everybody gets through safely. McCowan threaded the needle around MK Kankey there. And there's Mike Snow in the 39. He's spun twice tonight, hasn't caused a caution either time.
I think these guys are starting to realize they're not going to get a caution to get back if they're close to the leader. So if they want to catch him, they're going to have to get after it and run out of laps.
Brandon Witt 8th in the 28 car, closing in behind Mike Snow. Ride with Brandon. Oh, and we see smoke showing, yes. One car goes around.
Contact right there.
Mike Snow again. And another car goes sliding past him into the infield. And finally, a yellow wave.
It's the leader.
It is Robertson in the 75 who took evasive action down through the dirt. Wow. So Mike Snow goes around. We had a good look at it from Brandon Witt's onboard camera. Yellow comes out. Robertson dives to the infield, comes back up on the racetrack, now snakes the car, probably to clean the tires.
Clean the tires, make sure he doesn't have a flat tire, because running across those rocks on hot race tires, that's not a good thing. You cut these bias plies down real easy.
So Mike Snow, 3 spins tonight for the young driver in the 39. He's a regular here on Saturday nights. Robertson.
I think he was more of a victim that time
Yeah.
right there, watching right there. Something happened in front of him. He backed off, and I think he got a little love tap, sent him back down the infield.
So the field will realign in single file. They've had a long, you talk about long green flag runs and how good your car or how not good your car is. These guys have had a chance to find out tonight. It was the spin by Mueller up in the middle of the corner, I think, that forced Snow to get on the brakes.
Yeah, he had to spin to keep hitting him, it looked like to me.
So Mueller has gone around. That's what the first smoke screen is there in the 95, and Snow was able to get the 39 woed up by spinning it in the middle of the racetrack.
He had a little bit of help, too, if you noticed. Just
Did he?
a little bit of help.
Tough break for Mueller because he was running 6th as of lap 100.
And if you remember, he had already gotten in trouble early on and fought his way back up there.
Yes, he had. He was one of the first cars to get involved in a skirmish. There's the 28 of Witt, the Moen Fawcett's car. Witt running in 8th spot. He was up in the top 5 earlier, but he's done a good job keeping that car straight tonight.
He's done a really good job right there right now, Rick. And what happened to him, he's actually the car that got into the 39 car of Mike Snow in that accident.
So Brandon Witt will check his race car out, make sure he's set for the restart when we come back in Colorado Series here on Speed. Your leader is Jerry Robertson, the United Power Touchstone Energy 150. Less than 30 laps to go here tonight. With Jeff Hammond, I'm Rick Benjamin, Brett McMillan patrolling the garage area for us. Robertson has led 86 of the laps so far. And look at this. NASCAR says, hey, stop that thing so we can look it over.
Well, I think that's a good move right there. They don't want to penalize him if he's not losing fluid. If that tire's rubbing just a little bit, it can make you think you've got an oil leak. And if it's not having anything on the racetrack, they definitely don't want to penalize him for that reason.
Well, the Coldwell Banker Lucas Oil Chevrolet pulls away, and you can see the NASCAR official with the helmet on taking a look at the surface. Apparently he's not dropping any fluid.
Must be all clear. It's got to be a tire rubbing then, because something is definitely smoking. If he was putting down oil, they'd have forced him to go behind the wall.
Well, Brett McMillan has caught up with Jerry Robertson's crew chief.
We're here with Dave Wolf. Dave, your guy's been running a great race. What did he say happened there?
He didn't know anything about it. He's been smoking for a few laps here. And I guess they're gonna... They gave him his spot back, so he's gonna stay in the lead. So we don't know what happened. It might be a tire rubbing or something like that.
Are you surprised he's been running this well against this group of guys?
Hey, these guys are great. They're all fast. I mean, I'm thrilled to death to be here, and just keep our fingers crossed and hope we pull through.
You feel confident he's gonna be able to hang on and win this thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got him.
He doesn't seem like he's very confident. He's like he's a little bit like, uh-oh, there's something wrong with my race car, and I don't know what to do about it. So I wouldn't want to be in his position right now, but he needs to be a little bit more, I think forceful and say, hey, we got this thing. There's nothing wrong with that race car. Put him back in the front.
Well, remember, unlike the NASCAR Winston Cup or Busch Series, you don't have any opportunity to fix the race car and still have a chance to win here tonight. Coming up next for the Featherlite Southwest Series in October at Mesa Marin, second trip of the year to that very fast half mile in Bakersfield, California. That'll be the 13th round of the season. And then the Southwest Series will wrap up at Phoenix in November. They'll share the card with the Winston Cup cars in the early part of November. There's the 36 car, Richard Burton's machine. They asked him to stop and check. There must be something on the racetrack.
It really is, and NASCAR's really doing the right thing here. They don't want one of these competitors to get caught up in a wreck or wreck a race car, get hurt somebody because somebody's losing fluid. And if they can find out who's putting the fluid down, they're going to send them behind the wall and go back racing and feel good about it.
So Burton, no problem with his car evidently either. He will reassume his spot in the line as we get ready for another restart. That's the Mel's Conoco Chevrolet here at Colorado National Speedway. Burton will come up alongside Frank Moranski's 7 car. And looks as though he might be the first of the cars that are laps down. He'll tuck back into line actually behind Jerry Robertson, who remains the race leader. Well, Jim Pettit in that 03 car, he's run second for a long time. Started 5th tonight, led a few laps. Robertson got by him. Pettit has been right there in his tire tracks. But Brett McMillan, what do you think? Does Pettit have a little extra help tonight? There's word going around the racetrack as we got going that Pettit might have some extra special black magic or some such.
Yeah, Rick, there is some voodoo attached to these great runs Jim Pettit's been having. Earlier this year, his friend Kenny Kitchen said, you gotta try voodoo to get things turned around. Finally, at the first trip to Irwindale, things were going so bad, he did it. He took some chicken, waved it in the air, and threw it underneath the driver's seat. Within 2 minutes of that, another crew came up and asked to borrow their tire gauge. They tested on their tire, said 12 pounds. He said, hey, your tire gauge is busted. He goes, no, it says 19 on mine. He tried somebody else's. Said 19 on their car, 26 on Headet's car. You know what that means? The tire gauge they've been using all year long was 7 pounds off. In Winston Cup and Busch all the time we hear about half pound here, half pound there. He was running tires 7 pounds overinflated. Voodoo? I don't know. But we do know it's turned things around.
That right there is just a good excuse right there for somebody missing something right there. 4-leaf clovers, horseshoes maybe, but chicken bones? Come on now.
I don't know about that. That must be a California thing. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. 33 laps remain, and Robertson set sail quick. Boy, did he get a good jump.
He said, see ya, baby. If you want to catch me, come and get me. Great restart.
It was an excellent one. I don't see any smoke showing out of the right rear corner of that car now. See what happens when he gets back up to speed and gets the tires back up to temperature a little bit.
Oh.
But he doesn't seem to have any problem at all. He has jumped out to a 10-car length lead quickly. Good battle right behind him, though, for second.
A lot of pushing and shoving right now. All these guys right in behind him know they've got to make their way through this lap traffic if they're going to have a chance to catch him.
Jim Pettit in the 03 kind of trapped there behind a couple of lap cars. He's got David Gilliland right with him in third.
They're ganging up on him, too, right quick.
Eddie McKeon, the points leader in the 19 right there. He and Gilliland are side by side for that spot.
Gilliland's car is really like it's working good up there on the top side right now.
He likes it up there, it appears. 30 to go. Robertson leads Pettit. McCowan is up to 6th. What a great drive for that veteran in the 34 car. Remember, McCowan spun, brought out the first caution, came from the back.
Look at Gilliland go right now.
Yeah.
He's gotten around McKeon, and he's coming on up there. He's coming to the front.
There's Pettit in the 03 running second. Gilliland in the 11 car is third. That's the car he took over from Jimmy White back after his win at Irwindale early in the season that you saw here on Speed. Robertson, your leader, the 75 car. And he continues to open up the advantage. I don't see any more smoke out of the 75. Whatever it was that was putting that down, it's gone away.
No, it's kind of cured itself, which doesn't normally happen in racing, but right now it really looks good.
I was going to say before the last break, Jeff, if that was a tire rub with a bias ply tire, you'd think it would have gone away by as much smoke as we saw out of the car, but it seems to have settled itself down.
Yeah, it really has. Again, when it's your night, it's your night.
There's the 19, a points leader, Eddie McKeon. Running in 4th right now. Here comes Brian Hoppe in the 51. Hoppe sits 5th. He made a great drive. He's gained 20 spots tonight, but hasn't been able to get any further.
Makes you wonder if he'd had a little bit better starting spot, if he'd had anything for our leader right now.
Definite situation you would think about if you're Brian Hoppe. But still, I think to haul all the way, he's come from Illinois out here to race. And to make that long tow and run a series you're not familiar with and have such a good night, it's certainly been a night for Brian Hoppe to shine.
Oh, it really has. He's shown how talented he is because, again, he's kept the fenders on his car, started way in the back, and made a really good showing here.
Everybody trying to track down the leader. There's Mike Ledbetter in the 61. He was up in the top 5 earlier tonight. He's fallen from the top 10, though, now. And Jerry Robertson.
The smoke is back.
Yeah. Not as much as we were seeing before that caution, but still it's there.
It really makes me wonder maybe if that particular setup right now, the body shifting or the tires themselves, when they get a little bit more pressure up, because with bias ply, when they cool back down, the tire will actually lose pressure. It can do that.
Now Jerry Robertson, whatever's wrong with the car, it's not causing him any difficulties in the driver's seat that we can tell. Fans settling in for the final couple of laps tonight at Colorado National. NASCAR's Featherlite Southwest Series. Running the United Power Touchstone Energy 150, and it has turned into a Jerry Robertson benefit, but a good battle. Look at this. The 11 car for 3rd spot around Eddie McKeon. David Gilliland on the high side. You mentioned it earlier, Jeff Hammond. He's making that high side of the racetrack work for him.
He really is, and the good thing about it right now, McKeon's kind of battled back. You know, if you think about it earlier, he'd gotten around him. Gilliland had gotten around McKeon. Now Gilliland's coming back up to the top side and pulling back away.
So McKeon, the points leader in that Magic Valley pipe and steel car. He's got some bodywork flapping. He's got a couple of tire donuts on the right side of the car.
Hey, we haven't got many laps to go. Don't worry about it.
No.
Just get after it.
Look at this. For second now, Gilliland pressuring Jim Pettit in the 03. So Pettit, who was trying to chase down the race leader, instead, he's got to defend second spot.
Looks like the handle's starting to go away on Pettit just a little bit. Looks like he can't quite get up off the corner like he'd been doing earlier.
Here comes the 11 car. Gilliland takes it to the bottom. Trying to make a move and gain second spot from Pettit. Almost leaned on him there in the corner. Didn't quite have to do it.
Yeah, he lost the front end just a little bit. Trying to be patient, but we're running out of time right now. And his car really looks like it's working better than Pettit's is as far as getting up off the corner.
But as you so often see, as the battle for second takes shape, Eddie McKeon has the opportunity to close in and make it a three-way battle now.
And you know who's loving this? The leader, Robertson.
Yep.
He's looking in the rearview mirror, asking his crew chief, what's going on, what's going on? So don't worry about what's going on. Just focus, just focus.
Oh, and trouble for Scott Busby in the 73. He started 24th tonight. Second time tonight he's had a problem with the race car. Appears to be out of power up on the high side of the speedway, and he will head to the gate and head to the garage area off of turn 2. So Busby's night appears to be done. That leaves Jerry Robertson again all alone out front. Again, no caution, and Robertson just adds to that lead.
He really is, and as we see right there, Gilliland has finally gotten a little bit more breathing room as far as Eddie McKeon is concerned, but he hasn't quite been able to get around Pettit. I still believe he's got a better car than Pettit. His car's getting up off the corner nice and straight, and if he can get position on him, get around some of this lap traffic, I believe he'll pass him. Whoa!
Bumps him in the back.
That's another way to get around him.
There you go, the bump and run on Pettit. So give second spot to David Gilliland, Butch's son, in car number 11. And Pettit gets knocked out of the groove, gets back up on the throttle, but he gives up second and third positions. Lost 2 in the exchange. That's a tough night for a guy who's in the points race.
Well, it really is, but at the same time, if you think about it like this, he had position on him, been trying to get under him, and I think what happened, his car spun just a little bit up off that corner, and they got together.
Jerry Robertson continues to show the way, and the 75 car took the lead back before 50 laps went on the board tonight from Pettit, and he has been out in front all the way since that point. No pit stops tonight. Jeff, let me ask you a question about tires at this point in the race. You see a guy like David Gilliland starting to gather some speed, move to second spot. Pettit is backpedaled. McKeon doesn't seem to have anything. Is it all about your tire management?
It really is. It's how smooth you are. A racetrack like this, you've got to be very smooth on and off the race, off the gas. Roll back in that throttle. Treat it like you're driving it with an egg underneath it. Keep from spinning the tires. That's the main thing. You got to have that forward bite. And the guys that can keep it nice and straight and be smooth, they'll have tires at the end.
Fighting for 7th spot here. The 95 of Craig Mueller, the 98 of M.K. Kahnke. Remember, Kahnke is a points contender. He's come from the back of the field. Mueller, a local driver at Caterpillar Parts Chevrolet.
Now, Mueller, he's had a really exciting night. He's bumped into a bunch of guys, spun around a couple times, and he still looks like he may have a great finish here.
Very fast race car, and a guy who certainly knows how to get around here. And it really does start to get to be a question of who has the best tires left, I think, at this stage of the night. A hot night, track temperature almost 100 degrees. 10 laps to go. The signal coming down to the leaders, 10 to go. And Richard Burton says, I'm going to go see if Liz is busy tonight. He heads behind the wall.
Yeah.
Take a look at your field summary as lap 140 goes on the board. Robertson ahead of Gilliland. Doug McCowan, great run tonight for the 34, up into 6th ahead of Mueller. And here comes the 75 of Robertson. Remember, McCowan was involved in the first caution of the night back before we put 30 laps on the board. He's come from the back. Boy, look at the 75 still laying down that smoke.
I've got to leave here in a minute. I've got to go there and find out what's wrong with that race car. It's bugging me.
Kahnke in the 98 behind Mueller in the 95 car. You saw a quick look at the 44 machine. Bob Lyon and a big spin. Mueller goes sliding across the front stretch. Down into the dirt, kicks up a huge cloud of dust. Mueller will refire the car. Actually, I don't think he ever stalled it. Get it back in gear and point it back toward the racetrack. Once again, what's that, the 4th one tonight?
Oh, man, I think he's been involved in at least 4 incidents tonight. A couple of spins, beating and banging. I mean, like I say, he has had a night at the races.
And you'll find this hard to believe, Jeff, but there's no caution.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. There's the 06. Looks like he's headed for the hills as well. Mike Gallegos takes that car behind the wall. Let's take another look at the spin here. Looks as though Mueller just had to get away from him coming off 4.
We've been talking about it, what these tires can stand and what they can't stand. He's already got that right rear mad. That's what's happened here. It's lost its grip, and away she went.
Jerry Robertson, meantime, says, thanks. I'll keep it green and keep it on the racetrack. He's very appreciative, I'm sure, of not seeing the yellow. Down the front on straightaway one more time. Here's a good battle, a little further back in the pack. The 5 car and the 44 of Bob Lyon. Joe Harold in that black and white number 5. Here's the 28 of Brandon Witt right there as well. Neither the 44 nor the 5 shown on the lead lap. 2 laps to go tonight. 2 to go here at Colorado National. Climb back aboard with Brandon Witt.
I think he's running about 8th place right now.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to have a top 10 run here tonight. Good job by the rookie.
Headed for the white flag is Jerry Robertson. Witt in the 28 car, the 70 machine. And there is the white flag showing over the 75 of Robertson. This driver, local driver out of Erie, Colorado, has run a few times with the Craftsman trucks, made a couple of NASCAR Busch Series starts, and he's got great experience locally here in late models. And here he comes to the stripe. Jerry Robertson will be your winner tonight of the United Power Touchstone Energy 150 for the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series here at Colorado National Speedway. Big victory for this driver and his crew. And you know he's got to be thrilled that he was able to win so easily with a car that evidently had some sort of problem. Look at him waving his hands inside that race car.
I'm sure he's excited. He had a very dominating race car. And he did really a great job and let the car work up on the top side of the racetrack early on, made his way around a lot of guys, then got to the bottom, and that's where he ran most of the night. But he could pass about anywhere he wanted to.
Very strong effort from that driver and team. So Jerry Robertson, unheralded coming in here tonight, comes from 8th spot to take the victory. David Gilliland in the 11 car comes home in 2nd. The 19 of points leader Eddie McKeon will check her in 3rd. Man, the fans go wild. Look at this. Some nice donuts served up tonight by Robertson.
And some more smoke. Some more smoke. We know where that's coming from.
Yes, we do. More than 14,000 strong. The fans on their feet to applaud Jerry Robertson, one of their local stars, has taken on the touring regulars of the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series, and he's come home a winner.
Now, we were talking about Gilliland just a minute ago. I'm just wondering if him and Mr. Pettit are going to have a word of prayer after this race.
I think they might have to have a little meeting of the minds. We'll find out when we come back to CNS. Welcome back to Colorado National Speedway. Brett McMillan ready to talk to our race winner.
Well, the Colorado connection comes through. What a win for you. Congratulations.
I'll tell you what, my leg is so cramped I can't even move my toes. But, hey, man, that was a great effort by my pit crew. They worked all week long. This is a borrowed car. Never raced this car before. Freddie Query in North Carolina, I talked to him because he used to own it 3 years ago. And I'll tell you what, he helped me out. And I'll tell you what, I'm thrilled to death. Coldwell Banker, Monte Carlo, kicked butt today. I got to thank all my sponsors, man. Peterson Concrete, Roadrunner, Kelly Bowen, WTB Mailing, Lawson Construction, Lane Graphics, Rentcom, who am I forgetting? Abel Crane. Oh, let me look. I'm so...
Do you have any idea how much your right rear tire was smoking?
You mean racing? While I was out there racing?
Exactly.
Or no?
Yeah. I'm still amazed it's still up.
I'll tell you what, it must have been rubbing the body or something because the car wasn't loose except the last 4 laps there. Somebody left some oil on the track, and I managed to hit it all the time, and I tried to miss it, but I kept driving in the corner too deep. So it was a great win. I got to thank Speed Channel for covering this. And all my guys, you guys did a great job. This is excellent.
What happened when you ended up in the infield?
Some cars spun in front of me, and I let off the gas, and it chirped the tires and got me a little sideways. So I come from the dirt track, so I could hang on to it. I almost lost it. Then we had to dirt track it through the infield to keep the lead. And so thank God for that. And hi, honey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I love you, Debbie.
There you go. A win at home for Jerry Robertson.
His first career victory with the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series, and certainly a driver who's very happy to be in victory lane. So Robertson beats David Gilliland to the line. Points leader McKeon comes home 3rd. Pettit, Hoppy, and Doug McCown, your top 6.
Yeah, great runs right there by them. And look at old Bob Lyon right there. One of the veterans right here, finished up 13th. Good run for him tonight.
Take a look at the final finishers. How about this? Bernie Lamar finishes 25th. He'll take a big hit in the points. He's with Brett McMillan.
Well, Bernie, you've mustered a smile. I guess that's about all you can do on a night like this. How disappointing is this when you're in the middle of a championship run?
It's real disappointing, but, you know, the way I look at it, you know, we have a really strong team, and I know come Bakersfield and Phoenix, we'll be right back where we were when we left off in this mess. We'll be all right.
When you felt the rear end just go, what ran through your mind?
it was heartbreaking, you know. And I just hope maybe we can get back in here and fix it back up, but it actually ripped the back of the tranny apart and did some pretty terminal damage back there.
All right, he's still smiling, but you know what? They will be back. 2 more races to go this year, and they're going to be around.
Boy, that is a tough break to have a gearbox give up on you. Look at what happens in the point standings, Jeff Hammond. Lamar drops back to third, more than 100 back now with 2 races left.
Well, it's going to be kind of like hard to overcome that, but anything can happen. The same thing could happen to our leader, just as easy to happen to him.
A couple of good points battles for 6th and for 8th, and they'll be settled at Mesa Marin in October and then at Phoenix in the month of November. Well, for Brett McMillan and Jeff Hammond, I'm Rick Benjamin. A reminder, all your motorsports information available 24/7 at our website, speedtv.com. We congratulate the winner of the United Power Touchstone Energy 150, Jerry Robertson, his first career win in the NASCAR Featherlite Southwest Series. Thanks for watching. We'll talk.